Hey gang! Yeah, I know. What the heck are watches doing on a Zippo video? Well, these are my Seiko 5s. I bought both of them at the same time about 7 years ago. 6, 7 years ago in that time frame. Bought this one first. Liked it so much I wanted to have a second one in case they stopped making them and I couldn't get a hold of them anymore. I've always bought Seiko watches because they come with 5-year warranties, and I've never had a Seiko watch break before 5 years. Now you can see they're both running just fine. I just reached over into my little snap-on box, and when I did, I heard an ominous rattle. Now, these watches are self-winding. Let me show you. See this bar here? Watch that bar. See how it moves around? As you move, that moves. So no batteries required. It's just self-winding. Just exactly what it sounds like. And I thought, well, that's great. Don't have to worry about replacing batteries. And it's a Seiko, so it should be able to take a beating. And you can see, let me see if I can get this screen to where you can see. This is a sapphire glass, and it's been beat. I am not gentle on my watches. 7 years. So the noise that I heard was on this one, and I knew exactly what it was. That counterweight, it's two pieces. You've got the chrome looking piece and then this dull silver looking piece around here, and they are spot welded together. You can see, I get my handy dandy little pointer here, you can see, get just the right angle. There's a little tick mark there, a little tick mark there, and a little tick mark there. 3 little spot welds. Well, I wasn't sure if maybe the screw backed out and the entire arm fell off, or if I lost those spot welds. Let's take a look. Oh, this is the third band I've had on this one. But you can see it's still running because this just happened. But see something missing there? Watch is still perfectly functional. But you can see those 3 tick marks a little better there. The weight came off. Am I going to worry about spot welding it, getting that spot welded back on or secured back on there? Nah. I am not concerned about it at all, because the watch is only 50 bucks and I got 7 years out of it. Show me a Timex that's going to take the abuse that I put watches through. So now I introduce this one. But the cool thing is, they're still making and selling these watches. So it's time to order another one. But anyway, just wanted to show that to you. Nothing that I did other than my normal daily abuse, and that obviously must be the weak link, is the spot welds holding that on. Anyway, that's all I wanted to show you. My watch broke, so always have a spare. Zippo later. Nope. Hey gang, Zippo. Well, you guys know me. I've got to try, right? Here's the new one. So pretty. Here's the old one. I showed you guys that the weight had fallen off of the winding mechanism on it, and well, I thought I'm not going to be out anything if I fail in trying to fix it. So I broke out the ethyl cyanacrylate super glue, and I was really careful. Let's let's take a look, see if that repair's working. There's the weight. The weight's working. So what did I do exactly? Well, let me get this cover off here. Alright. There's a really tiny, let me get my pointer again. Really tiny flathead slot in that center screw bearing right here, right there. So I just took a knife edge, a blade, because I didn't obviously have a screwdriver that long and that flat, and I took that off. When I took that off, I was able to flip this over. There's just a single gear on there and then 3 ball bearings holding that thing in. You can see that it works just fine. But there's ball bearing, ball bearing, ball bearing. So there's very little resistance. You don't need a bunch of ball bearings with something like that. So underneath on the bottom of this is just a gear, and that gear rides along. You can see it right here, this one moving, that gear right there. As tiny as this stuff is, I'm really surprised that I was able to get it all back together and have it still work. But took that cyanacrylate and just put it on the weight itself, and then rested this plate on top of it and let it sit for about 45 minutes to cure. Put it all back together and voila. So we will see how long that lasts. I'm going to go ahead and keep wearing the watch. I'll know when it falls off because it'll start tinging around. Having just those 3 teeny tiny little spot welds on there obviously wasn't enough for this thing to take the beatings that I give it. And the cyanacrylate, the super glue, I have it going the full distance there, all the way around. And when I first put it back on, I had a stuck spot. It would go part way and then just stop. I had to pull it back apart, and then on the bottom side of it, a little bit of that super glue had weeped out between this plate and the edge of this, and so riding along this little groove all the way around here, it was just getting caught, and it was I'm not sure where it was getting caught. I'm guessing one of these bosses that are sticking out here, something like that. It was just coming up, and that tiny little bit of glue was just hitting it. So I got that little bit off, and it's golden. It's working. So we'll put it back to work, and we'll revisit this if and when it fails again. So we'll see how long that super glue fix on this self-winding Seiko 5 watch lasts. You guys had to know that was coming. I'm not one just to leave something go, especially something that looked like it could possibly be a relatively easy fix. There was no way I was going to be able to spot weld it back on. But 7 years and counting, so I'm going to mark this date with a photo and put it in my files for the date that I repaired it. We'll see how long it lasts. So if you see this watch come up again at a later date, it may just be because the super glue has failed between these two parts and I glue it back together again. So that's it. Zippo later. I'm out.